right, everybody, welcome back to Just a Tip Pod with one of the co-hosts, Rager, and my lovable sidekick. What do you say, sidekick? I'm not too sure, but Shady. Okay, that was kind of gay. For real though, my co-host Shady is not with me. This is a solo cast. With me, Rager, at least for the first part of it. Hopefully. So, what I wanted to get down to first, right, is why I'm not with Shady. Why is he not here today? So we try to record together, but not this week that passed, but the last one. Let's just say 2 Sundays ago. We recorded the pod. It went fine. This one's gonna be coming up first, and then we're gonna do the makeup pod afterwards, which should have been technically last week's episode, but it's being moved this week. So, what had happened was I got sick on Thursday, and since my job doesn't really allow for fucking sick pay, paid time off, all that fun stuff that regular people get to have, because I'm a contractor, I was going through fucking fever fucking episodes or whatever at work, and I had a cough that any moment that I started fucking laughing, I fucking sounded like I was on a fucking like been smoking for 30 plus years or something, right? So, we didn't record a pod this last Sunday. I take the fall for that obviously because uh I was just way too sick, essentially was the thing. And since Shady doesn't really we both don't get days off, we kind of make it work on Sundays, right? Where we get to record and all that fun stuff. So, that didn't happen, and oh yeah, it's kind of how it goes sometimes. We try our best to come together to do something, but this time it just didn't really pan out. I was way too sick. So that was a recording. I told you guys that Shady always tries to sexually assault me through the mic. That's just once this pod goes up and running, I am gonna pull a whatever the fuck it is that they did to Diddy, and we're gonna get this man locked up. So uh, let me explain a little bit of my job because I did bring it up. So I do contracting work, and what that is essentially is I get to clean restaurants and stuff. And every place that I've been to, every company that I've seen, because this is our own company. This is me and my dad run this, so it's our gigs. So the way that I've seen other companies do it is uh, essentially they mop and sweep a restaurant, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, there's certain things that happen in kitchens if they're high pace, high density type kitchens. Uh, that when we clean, essentially, I'll break down the way that we do it. So we throw down water with soap or degreaser, right? Technically, this soap that we use does have degreaser and stuff, so it works fine. If we see that the floor is really jacked up, we'll scrub it. Other than that, we try to get underneath the equipment and stuff like that with the squeegee, and we try to get all the trash that we can out, and then we hose down the kitchen. That would be the kitchen part of it. Now, when we're up in front, it will be sweep and mop because obviously there's not much you can do. Unless there's a bar, then you kind of have to throw down some water. Make sure you hit that bar with bleach because since I've seen a couple bars where they don't really take care of them, right? Like I have great examples of where they do take care of their bar. One of my favorite places is this place called Thirsty Lion in Santan. Fucking amazing. The managers and the staff there are amazing people. So shout out to them. They keep their bar clean. I will say that for a fact. The bartenders that they have are pretty clean. Uh, and I just come in, sweep in the little bits of trash, and then I throw down water, uh, and all that stuff, and then I get it clean. But there's a couple restaurants where I've seen it where it's like, holy crap, they don't even bother to like sweep up their mess at any point in time. So they're like basically walking and squishing all this citrus, and what happens is when you start doing that, you you're creating a problem where like all these little fruit flies and all that type of stuff will come in, and that becomes annoying, and then it starts to smell really bad. There was one restaurant that we did back in the day. What the fuck was the name? Actually, I shouldn't even say the name. It was this place in Tempe. Uh, that was fuck. So let me explain. We had taken over the contract from this other gentleman who essentially what he would do is sweep the floor, right? And then he'd mop with the same water that he used to mop the restrooms or that he used to mop the kitchen. Now imagine that floor, right? It was concrete, so wherever you pass the mop, if you shine light on it, you could see the strokes of the mop. Where he had hit it with clean water at one point and then just didn't even bother switching out the water. Uh, and then he would go to the bathroom, same thing. Obviously, with the bathrooms, right? Like the men's bathroom, there's piss on the fucking floor, right? It depends on how crazy the place got, and that place got pretty crazy. He would pass over it and drag that into the kitchen. From the kitchen, he would mop the bars, and yeah. By the way, a big thing when you're doing these maintenance stuff, you gotta check the drains, right? Because if you don't, those things will also start to stink up. Just a little tip: if you hit it with bleach every once in like what, like every 3 days or so, you'll be solid. Those things will be clean. They won't smell. They won't attract bugs or stuff of that sort. So keep that in mind. Fuck, I just hit the fuck out of my phone with the keyboard. Uh, Whenever y'all, if you guys ever decide to get into that, it's a pretty interesting job. I like it. The benefits are you get to meet some really amazing people who also work night shifts or they're working an evening shift and they basically to the point where you meet up with them. Amazing people. Uh, it's a fun job. I like it. Uh, I just get the from the people that I've talked to, right? I just find it funny because I tell them I go from work. I take out my dogs, and they're like, "So what? You go to sleep afterwards?" I'm like, "Nah." I go exercise. I do a couple like strength training stuff, and they're like, "Dude, you're fucking crazy. How do you do that?" And I'm like, "I don't go to sleep until like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. First of all, and even then, I'm battling to fight. Like like if I let myself, I'm pretty sure I can go like a couple days just straight without sleep, dude, and it's scary. But yeah, that's enough of that. The job stuff. Um, And also, one of the other perks too is since certain places are far, right, like half an hour away from my place or half an hour from a restaurant or whatever to another one, I bring my Steam Deck and it gives me a chance to actually play a couple games while I basically wait it out. If I'm not watching One Piece on the road, I'm playing that. And I see that a lot of people online say that it hasn't reached that status of it being how do you say uh like as worthy as the Switch. And I don't know. I'm pretty 50-50 on it. The reason for it is that there's certain things that I do see on the Switch that are pretty, like, oh, that makes sense. Like for some games, right, you don't need to make sure that you're online to play them. Like as long as if you bought them digital or you have a case that you could carry a cartridge in, you're solid, you're fine, all that good stuff, and you don't really have to worry about connecting to the internet. As with the Steam Deck, it is essentially like a small PC that you're carrying in your case. By the way, shout out to Valve. The fact that they include a case and like a little wipe for the case, and then like a little pouch where you could put in accessories like earphones or whatever. That's cool as fuck. Which I don't know why other companies haven't done that. It's like you could price it like probably $50 more, and you spend less on the case. If you guys look it up, the Steam Deck case, depending on if you get the LCD or the OLED one, the little dot in the middle is either blue or orange. Mine is orange because I decided to be bougie and I spent $700 on my OLED because I'm like I got to. It's got to look nice. So, what was I going about to say? The uh, fuck. With the Steam Deck, since you're carrying around a small Linux machine, essentially, the pros of it are is you can add emulators, which is super easy. I thought it was going to be difficult. So I have a PS2 emulator on there. I have a NES, PSP, PS Vita, and a Switch. I believe. Either way, but the downside to it is like let's say I wanted to play F1. F1 runs nice on the Steam Deck, right? But I'd have to be connected to internet in order to enjoy it because I can't. Um, it needs you to be logged into EA Play at all times. So the fact that they removed, at one point EA did have the option for you to play offline, but they took it out, and that's kinda where it kills it. Cause I'm like, dude, I'm trying to play this game while I'm on the go. Let's take for example another game. I'm looking at it right now since it's on my fucking thing. Burnout Paradise is essentially a game that you can be played offline, but you can't do that on the Steam Deck. You have to have a constant internet connection, right? Or Need for Speed. Again, another game you could play offline, but because EA has it that way, you have to be connected to Wi-Fi or a network or something in order to enjoy it, which kind of sucks. And I essentially for my PC it's fine. I'll download those games. It's all good. But for my Steam Deck, I deleted them because it's a waste of space, and I'm playing on the road, and I can't connect to a Wi-Fi spot, and I'm not gonna. I could always turn on a hotspot technically, but uh, I'm too broke, so I don't pay for that for the hotspot shit. So I don't even bother with that. So I'll leave it at that. I just won't install it. Another one is Far Cry, Ubisoft. Ubisoft has some trash games right now, but I really wanted to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey the other day, and I couldn't because I forgot that Ubisoft Connect also needs you to have an internet connection in order to play these things on the go. Whereas if you go onto the Switch and you play it, let's say Assassin's Creed Remastered or Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, you don't need that. And I found that pretty stupid. It's like, why don't we just do that on this? But again, I digress because it is literally a fucking uh, a mini PC, right? And it makes sense. So, uh, my bad. I just opened up the Opera GX browser because I wanted to show you guys something. So, one of the things, though, right, is that they say, fuck, hold on. All right. Well, this is what I wanted to show you guys real quick. Um, so basically, with the Steam Deck, or yeah, the Steam Deck, it's cool to port around and everything like that. It's really comfortable in the hands and all that shit. I forgot my train of thought earlier, so sorry. Uh, but so like, look, for example, you're able to take Persona 5 Royal on the fucking go, which is clean as fuck. Dave the Diver, I will say, looks amazing on these fucking like little handhelds and shit. Uh, and then I had there's like stuff like Witcher 3, which is pretty cool. Uh, this Balotaro game is slept on. I am gonna say that. And then the fact that you can also take Elden Ring on the go is cool, but you guys could tell how one of the possible downsides of that could be that oh you're eating up your battery, which you fucking are. By the way, yes you are. Uh, the Steam Deck, I love it a lot, but in terms of battery life, it's obviously could do better. But I will say this: if you guys are in the market for a handheld PC, stay away from the OLED. The Legion is a solid choice, but it's either between the Legion or the Steam Deck, in my opinion. I tried the ROG; it was all right. It just that I feel like the Windows thing helped. It didn't help it. It took up too much of the RAM, I would say, or not even the RAM. It took up memory, and it caused, at least from my experience, it caused it to be slower. And on paper, the the Steam Deck is lower in power. Like it doesn't have a good GPU per se in comparison, or not GPU. Like the chip isn't as strong for the Steam Deck as it is for the ROG, and I'm like, huh. So I spent set $800, I think, on the ROG the first time around, and it did not hold the charge. It was way too clunky to carry around, and I didn't find it that comfortable in my hands after like long use. So it was kind of annoying. So I I still have it. I just don't use it. It's just there collecting dust, sadly. It had promise for sure, but I feel like it should just been better optimized in a sense, or had like something like, I don't know. I just didn't like the feel of it. And then with the Steam Deck, it is a like a lower chip, right? Like a like a slower chip in like in the sense in comparison with the ROG. But I'm telling you guys, I'll take optimization over power any day, because how well optimized Linux is on the Steam Deck is insane. You could run fucking games like Elden Ring, right? You got like two to 3 hours solid playing that game, and it looks amazing on there. I played Cyberpunk on there. I played Witcher on there. I'm playing Fallout. When I play Fallout, I'm able to play Fallout 3, New Vegas, the older ones, Fallout 4 and 76 on there. It's amazing. However, I think with Fallout 4, I don't get that much time on there. I think I get like 5 to 6 hours, I think, which isn't that bad for a game that looks that good. I liked it a lot. And then with Fallout 3 in New Vegas, I get like fucking like 12 hours or something like that, 10 hours, something like that. I have to check again. So it's pretty clean. And the new Dragon Ball game looks amazing on there. So, if you ever want to fuck somebody up and they're talking mad shit, you're like, bro, here, grab this controller. And you guys go duke it out on Dragon Ball. And it's fun. I liked it. But like I said, in comparison to the Switch, it the Switch is definitely the stronger one battery wise on that, because my Switch did not die on me. As like I could go more than like a solid 6 hours handheld, with the game open in the back. Like let's say I put it in sleep mode and that game is still running, I could come back and it runs just fine. With this one, I'm kind of scared to put it to sleep with the game, because if I come back to it, it either stutters or it starts lagging. So there was that. The Switch, obviously, you got the Mario games, all that stuff. But like I said, with the Steam Deck, you're able to emulate games. So I have been playing Initial D, which is like this anime game from back in the day that was on the PS2 that released only in Japan. And I managed to get it emulated, and it's working fine on the Steam Deck, and I like that. Um, and then it does have expandable storage, so I have a 500 gigabyte, I think, inside of the Steam Deck right now, and it runs fine. I haven't had issues with it. There was something I wanted to touch upon. So let me see if I'm able to pull it up here. Let me see if it'll take me to the actual thing or something else. So, fuck. Give me a second here. Let's put that. Whatever. So, where is it at? There's a thing that says. Fuck, where is it? Oh, this thing right here. The verified shit. So, this verified thing, it'll tell you the Steam. I don't know how it looks on your guys' side. If not, I'll just read it. So, it says Steam Deck compatibility. Valve's testing indicates that Elden Ring is verified on the Steam Deck. This game is fully functional on the Steam Deck. Works great with built-in controls and display. So it has 4 check marks. The first one is for all functionality is accessible when using default configuration. The second one is this game shows Steam Deck control icons. That's we're going on to the third one. In-game interface text is legible on Steam Deck. The last one is this game defaults graphics configuration perform well on the Steam Deck. Now, the issue that I have with it is that it is not always accurate. I don't know how they go about how do I say, like, testing it, right? I don't know how they do it, but it's not always accurate. Like this one, when I had first gotten my Steam Deck, and you can look this up. This one did not have the playable thing. It had all green on the on the Steam Deck compatibility. This is a game called Chernobyl. Like, essentially, in this game, you get to explore Chernobyl after everything has gone down. There's like a little exploration mode. It's pretty cool, but it's too much for the Steam Deck in that regard because when you go into the game, uh, it will not default. At least it didn't default on mine to the controls. So I had to basically use the touchscreen on the Steam Deck in order to actually play it. It did not. It was so laggy, even on the lowest of settings. You basically had to make it look like a fucking potato in order to make it somewhat playable. And here they say there's a couple little orange warning signs or yellow. My bad, I'm colorblind. It says some in-game text is small and may be difficult to read. Try the fucking entirety of the game. This game requires manual configuration of graphic settings to perform well. Man, oh, dude, you need to go to probably into the code to probably make this game playable. At least in my experience, and I did not do that. It's not worth the hassle because I have this game on PlayStation and obviously PCs, so I didn't bother to go through all that. It's a shame because it's a really good game. I've told you guys in the past that I really love these games where it's like how do I say, like these post-apocalyptic or realistic type shit. They're pretty good. Now, Ghost of Tsushima, right? It got unsupported straight up out the box. It got unsupported, guys. This game is probably one of the more beautiful games that there is on like a console, like PS5. In my opinion, it's super beautiful. It's a nice game. I love it so much. Uh, but it says that it's unplayable on Steam Deck, which is a complete fucking lie. The reason for it is I got like a good solid 10 to 15 minutes of gameplay, and it ran fine. It was enough to go from the beginning area where they're getting shot at with arrows and all this other shit, and basically to the point where you have to go with this character named Yuna to sneak behind the enemies, and basically Jin has to break that samurai code by killing somebody without them noticing. The sneak kill, right? So I got through all that, and this game ran smoother with all the action in the fucking game. It looked better than Chernobylite, and it was basically from buying the game to downloading it. I didn't have to fuck with anything. It was just that. It was so easy. And then I think what they do mean is the online, since the online is like a separate thing of its own. That I could kind of see. I didn't try the online. I didn't even try the online when it was on a PlayStation. I did 100% it though. So I will tell you guys from like everything. I'm excited for the new Ghost of Tsushima game, or Ghost of Yotei, I should say. That one is gonna be fucking fire. It's gonna be, I think, 200 to 300 years after the fact, um, which I'm looking forward to this upcoming year. And I don't know why the fuck Ubisoft decided to think it was a good idea. Why they thought it was a good idea to be like, hey, let's put our fucking game out at the same time that that PlayStation's gonna release a game. Here's the thing, guys. Ubisoft has been going downhill pretty drastically. Everybody has known. It's not amazing. It's not great. It's not going to be huge. And they decided to not. They could have released it this year, right? And I don't know why they didn't. I think it was something about like they wanted to make sure that it was good in quality. Ubisoft, your guys' games have been fucking shite since probably the last Odyssey. The Assassin's Creed Odyssey was like probably, in my opinion, the last good uh, Assassin's Creed game you guys produced. I'm not even gonna touch Mirage. I played it for like 5 minutes. That shit was painful. So I have no hope. I will still try it. Don't get me wrong. They still got my money, because it's in Japan, and I love like that old school Japan shit. I love that. It's my shit. But I don't have high hopes for it, dude. If I can, I'll probably get a copy off of eBay for like fucking $40. I'm not paying full price for that game. I don't see the point in it. I would rather pay full price for a Sucker Punch game such as Ghost of Yote, which honestly I feel like it's got it in the bag in terms of games where that take place in around that same time. Ghost of Yote, bro. I'm excited as fuck. They took Tsushima, right? Which is like this little island off of Japan's north coast, I want to say. And it was phenomenal. I loved it. I still have yet to play the director's cut, the DLC and stuff, but I will let you guys know after the fact, after I'm done playing that, how it is. That is pretty cool. Now another game that shows that, right, like playable on the Steam Deck, is unfortunately one of my favorite games. Uh, like a Dragon. Here's the thing. I know obviously I'm sacrificing something in order to be able to play it. With this, I feel like it's the rendering. So, uh, when you're walking down the streets of Kamurocho or Yokohama, I mean, my bad. You are you are basically you're generating the street as it's going. That's as much as the Steam Deck is willing to handle, I guess, in that regard. Which honestly is still pretty impressive because this game came out this year, and if you guys play it, it's fucking awesome. I loved it. It was a great game. The ending and everything to it has me hyped, and I'm wondering what's gonna come out of this one. This fucking pirates in Hawaii shit, which I have not really looked much into, but my little brother has told me that it might be pretty good. So I'm gonna take his word for it, and I'm gonna see how it goes. But yeah. Uh, what else did I want to cover? I honestly just got off on that rant about all that stuff, but fuck, I just pulled my ear. Um, they were talking about supposedly the whole thing with the, like I told you guys, the Steam Deck. It all comes back to that Steam Deck shit, right? The Steam Deck, like I said, I think it's a solid thing. I just don't like the fact that they're being compared to, like, oh, it's not going to take the Switch's spot. I think we kind of know that, but it's gunning pretty close to it because, like I said, you have access to all these Steam games at the sacrifice of possibly, like those Nintendo games, right? Nintendo's awesome. I love them. Don't send Nintendo ninjas after me. I'm sorry. But uh, they basically were talking about the fact that, like, hey, when will a new Steam Deck come out, right? By the way, the day that comes out, I'm telling you guys, it's gonna fucking sell out fast as fuck, and rightfully so. Uh, what they had said was that they didn't want to release another one anytime soon, especially if it means all they're gonna do is like small shit to it. And by that I mean, look at what the fuck the ROG Ally X is. It's literally just an ROG but black. That's the only difference, I think. And I'm pretty sure they still haven't fixed one of the major issues with the ROG, by the way. You could have gotten the highest model one, right? Like I think it was like 512 gigabytes. But once you take out the memory out of that, right? Like the storage it needs to run Windows and all that, you're left with like probably 4 or 3. You can't add an SD card into it because the console burns up pretty fast and it'll melt your SD card. And there's no way to fix that through software updates. All they could really do is throttle the fucking the like the speed of the fans and the heat up basically to it. That's kind of about it, but you're still gonna see that that problem, and essentially it's gonna make your storage, all that stuff that you have on there, inept because it's not gonna do shit. Uh, Obviously because it's burnt. So they can't fix that through that because it's a hardware issue where they need to basically think the way that they're gonna put that together, because when it heats up, it's right next to where you put your SD card, and it causes it to burn, and it becomes useless. Um, and you'd think with this one, they sold another one. I think it was like a terabyte model or something like that. You would have thought with that one, they would have thought, hey, let's fix this issue before we charge people $700 for the same exact thing. But no, they didn't. They continued to charge people that amount, and it was noticeable. So yeah. What was I gonna say though? Uh, it had to do with the Steam Deck, but yeah, they're just saying that they're not gonna release another one anytime soon because there's not really a need for it until there's something that's revolutionary or something that's worth the upgrade in the handheld market. It's until then they'll release it, which is completely understandable because yeah, dude, I don't want them to pull uh a fucking ROG move on us where they fucking they just reskin you the same shit and the problems are worse. So another thing too was, since we're obviously getting in onto that time where it's starting to be uh that time where it's starting to get cool, right? Apparently the rattlesnakes are starting to come back stronger, and fucking I remember a couple nights ago at one of the restaurants that I do, right? There was a one of these mountain cats just roaming about in the fucking in the uh in the parking lot, and I was like, bruh, this motherfucker ate the rabbits that were nearby, cause there was a shit ton of rabbits there, and now they're fucking gone. So I'm assuming he had to do something with it. So yeah. I don't think I have much else. I did want to cover the recent Pokemon Man stories, but the person that I need to explain that to me is currently not available. So hopefully we're able to get him on soon so he can explain that. But other than that, I don't think there's anything else I have on my mind. I will try to look for a creepy story to tell you guys, and hopefully Shady is with us. R.I.P. He tried a Naruto run into the hurricane, and he perished. So, anything you want to say, Shady?
Yeah.
All right, nothing else. Let me see if I could get this boy on the line. Uh, yeah, but yeah, I'll try to get this one out. Hopefully Tuesday or Wednesday, and we should be solid. Uh, at least for what episode would this be? Actually, I didn't notice that on Spotify. I didn't publish episode. Was it 5? I didn't publish episode 5, so yeah, this would be episode 9. Holy shit, that would make our other one episode 10. Holy shit, we're at 10 episodes, y'all. That's fucking wild. But yeah, I'm grateful for everybody that's sticking around to listen to our rambles and shit. It's certainly something. Well, all right then. I don't think I'll be able to get him on the line. So this one has been a quick half hour pod type shit. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. And also, please make sure to check out the Spotify. Follow us on Spotify because we do need those in order to reach. I don't know. We're trying to reach a goal for the channel where I'm like, huh, let's get a tattoo for me. And obviously, Shady agreed to it. He said yes. He said it's fine. Uh, and that's just how the stuff is. Shady, if you wanna tell us one more time, do you agree with all of this? Like fully agree? Like if I take this to court, you can't battle it?
Yeah.
Well, you guys heard it. He said yeah. All right, everybody. Thank y'all for listening, and y'all have a good day. For